Good morning, family, and welcome to Morning Heart Devotion with Dr. Chung Yong, brought to you by our Heavenly Parents Holy Community. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 천지엔 참부모님께 경배. 바로. Now for our family pledge, 가정맹세. 1. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. And now to open us up with prayer this morning, I'd like to invite up Mr. Don Archer. Uncle Don, unmute first. Oh, camera's off. Okay. Let's go to, can I invite Mrs. Keiko King? Do you pray for us this morning?
Please join me in a prayer. 사랑하는 존귀하시는 하늘 부모님, 사랑하는 승리하시는 존진 참 부모님. I'm very grateful our heavenly parents and true parents. Every day through our beloved continental the director, Dr. Yong, we receive the spiritual food. The true mother behind Dr. Yong, the true mother the prepared so much the Johnson and the devotion. Through the Dr. Yong, we receive such a love of our the true mother every day. Please guide this the morning devotion today, and we receive utmost our sincerity with a humble heart we want to unite our Heavenly Parents' heart. And then we'd like to understand more deeper heart of our Heavenly Parents to become the filial sons and daughters in front of you. Our true mother can proud of. Our true mother can the proud in front of Heavenly Parent, in front of a true Father in the spirit world. This is your children. We want to become such a the sons and daughters in front of you. Please guide this morning devotion and give the blessing and the love to our beloved Dr. Yong, and while all our brothers and sisters, we can receive the words humbly. report the 축복 중심 가정 케이코킹 이름으로 복을 보내옵사옵나이다. 아주.
Thank you, Keiko-san, for that beautiful prayer this morning. And good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for being here. In case you maybe found out, Dr. Yong is not here right now. He is attending an international meeting, but he'll be joining us hopefully sometime during today's morning devotion. So, but now let's go into our breakouts and share our appreciations this morning. See you back in a few minutes. breakout, as always. To share first, I'd like to invite up the two brothers in my breakout, starting with Masaki Hasabe. You would share first, please.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me share. Yes. Good morning, everybody. I'm grateful for living with my family. They support my financial and my my daily life as a college student because right now I'm in college, and I'm also grateful. I'm grateful to be with Mohan. He seems so special to me. He is so special to me, and and I'm also grateful for I'm also grateful for overcoming all struggles that I had in the past, and yes, I'm glad I overcame those struggles, and yes, I feel proud today. I feel proud. Yes, that's about it. Thank you.
Masaki. And thank you for those. Oh, you have more?
No, that's all.
Okay. Okay. You could say a little bit more about me, No, I'm kidding. But thank you, Masaki. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. I'm just trying to be a good older brother.
I understand.
I'm glad to hear that you have a good relationship with your family, and that is really precious. Thank you. Okay, let's go next to Christopher Fox. You would share next, please.
I'm trying to unmute. There you go. All right. I was sharing about Dr. Yong's words yesterday when he was describing how Christianity didn't compromise when they were proclaiming that Jesus was Lord. And I paralleled that to my own standard when I tried to witness. And I want to be more open to proclaiming. I don't want any restriction, but I try to, compromise, to the people or person that I'm proclaiming to. So I have to work on that. I was very glad to hear his teaching about it. And then I was very encouraged about his words about us being mediators. And I think we've all had that experience where we feel closest to God at one moment and then a little bit further away at another moment. So I need to work on that as well. But those are my goals. No matter how old we get or no matter our limitations, there's a broad spectrum now, especially technologically, where we can proclaim and we can be great mediators for God. There's nothing that we cannot do. So I have to step that up. Thank you very much. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you so much, Uncle Chris. I know for someone who does so much outreach already, it's really humbling to hear you say that about proclaiming true parents. So thank you so much. All right, family, who's ready for some morning devotion? So without further ado, let's welcome up Dr. Yong for our morning heart devotion.
안녕하세요. Good morning, good morning. My dear brothers and sisters, clergy and members for peace, 안녕하십니까? Today, I would like to speak with the title, Giving Birth to the Heavenly World, from contents True Mother's memoir. Today's word today's word will be the last part of True Mother's memoir. Starting tomorrow, I will start True Mother's 학자 한문 on Anthology 1. 자, let's study again. Heavenly Honey, please read.
That winter and spring, I addressed 5 rallies of hope in South Korea. In Seoul, 100,000 people attended. We promoted the unification of North and South Korea under the theme, Inherit Heavenly Fortune, Bring National Unity. We also held a rally in honor of the United Nations troops that came to Korea's aid during the Korean War. In Chungcheong province, our rally was themed the 100th anniversary of the March First Movement and the movement for peace between Korea and Japan. In Gyeongsang province, we held a rally for town and community leaders. And in the Honam region, the rally theme was New Life Centering on True Mother and the Settlement of the Era of the Pacific Civilization. In Ganjin County, there were villages that had not heard the cries of new babies for many years. It is like that in all farming areas in Korea because young women have moved to the cities. We held the Ganjin County Rally of Hope for Childbirth and True Families and conducted the blessing ceremony in 3 villages. The whole of Ganjin County was filled with a festive atmosphere. I sent holy robes that I had treasured as a gift to a slightly older couple that had been one of the representative couples during one of the blessing ceremonies. I later received a note of thanks. After wearing the robes, they had given birth to twins. Amazingly, 3 couples that attended those blessing ceremonies gave birth to twins. In addition, as if caught up in the spirit, a local farmer's cow gave birth to twin calves. The governor of the area sent a video of himself bowing to express his thanks. He said that Korea is on a demographic cliff. There have been too few marriages and birth, and now the workforce is shrinking. He said that the Family Federation's blessing ceremony is the path of true patriotism, for only it can save the nation. Sometimes I ask myself, what will save the world for the sake of our heavenly parent? Korea is not alone on the demographic cliff. Japan, China, Europe, Russia, the birth rate is in decline in many countries. The only solution is to bring joy through the blessing of marriages in harmony with Heavenly Parent. The blessing will bring peace within ourselves, within our families and communities, nation and world, heaven and earth, Heavenly Parent's holy community. Vision 2020 brought us to the mountaintop. Now let us greet the rising sun with all of our hearts. Let us advance together into the bright, new, hopeful era of the settlement of God's kingdom, Chanoguk. 100 years ago, for the liberation of our homeland, my maternal grandmother waved the Korean flag that she had hidden in her bosom. Now, for the liberation of our global family's homeland, we must raise the Heavenly Parent flag that we have hidden in our bosom. Just like her, we must passionately live for God's kingdom of Chanoguk. The dawn of a new history is growing brighter. Through the manifestation of the only begotten daughter in the providence of restoration, humanity has new hope. We are completing heaven's providence, reaching our global village with the message of the Mother of Peace.
Wow, great. Before True Mother come to America, we were able to finish all the words of True Mother's memoirs every morning through the devotion 정성 condition. I sincerely thank Heavenly Parents and True Parents. In the meantime, we have been able to learn so much from True Mother's memoir. We clearly understand what is the identity of True Mother. She is the God's only begotten daughter. We learn also very clearly what is her portion of responsibility. We already know that what is her wish and dream. So we really need to unite with the True Mother. How can we substantially establish God's 천일구 on the earth? That's why now True Mother very much focus on Korean Peninsula Providence between North Korea and South Korea. My dear brothers and sisters, just now Mother mentioned that the dawn of the new history is growing brighter through the manifestation of the only begotten daughter in the providence of restoration. Humanity has new hope. We are completing heaven's providence, reaching our global village with the message of Mother of Peace. My brothers and sisters, let's really, really appreciate our Mother's great achievement, our Mother's hard work. Let's really unite with the Mother's vision and dream, and then substantially need to help God's 천일구 on the earth. Living divine principle today, I'd like to share with you based upon the life of dual characteristics. First of all, let's learn EDP content again.
What is the relationship between internal nature and external form? The internal nature is intangible and causal and stands in the position of a subject partner to the external form. The external form is tangible, resultant, and stands in the position of an object partner to the internal nature. The mutual relationships between these two aspects of an entity include internal and external, cause and result, subject partner and object partner, vertical and horizontal. The first cause of all the myriad things in the universe must also possess the dual characteristics of internal nature and external form, which stand in the position of subject partner to the internal natures and external forms of all beings. We call this first cause of the universe God, and we call God's internal nature and external form the original internal nature and original external form. God, the first cause of all things, also exists based on the reciprocal relationship between his dual characteristics of Yang and Yin. What is the relationship between the dual characteristics of internal nature and external form and the dual characteristics of Yang and Yin? God's original internal nature and original external form each contain the mutual relationship of original Yang and original Yin. Therefore, original Yang and original Yin are attributes of original internal nature and original external form. The relationship between Yang and Yin is similar to that which exists between internal nature and external form. Yang and Yin thus have the following mutual relationships: internal and external, cause and result, subject partner and object partner, vertical and horizontal. A human being attains perfection when he centers his life on his mind. Likewise, the creation becomes complete only when God stands as its center. Hence, the universe is a perfect organic body that moves only according to God's purpose of creation. Because God exists as a subject partner, Having the qualities of internal nature and masculinity, he created the universe as his object partner with the qualities of external form and femininity. All of this is supported by the Bible verse 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 17, which states, man is the image and glory of God. In recognition of God's such position, we call him our Father.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. And then based on this EDP content, let's study Father's word regarding this.
Your husband is in the position of God. What do you think about your husband when you return home? Your husband is in the position of God. Man has the plus characteristic, which is the first internal nature of God's dual characteristics. Woman has the minus characteristic, which is the first external form of God's dual characteristics.
Yes. In order for the family to be in order, the mother must first become one with her children. Second, on the expectation of such mother and child cooperation, mothers should act as mediators so that their children and father become one. Children must establish an order in which they respect their father. This is very important. We learn through the God's providence of restoration and mother and then sons of cooperation. Especially when we look at the Noah's family, Noah's wife need to have a good relationship with his child, his children. And then Noah's wife need to establish mother and son's cooperation. Then her all children can connect to Father. That is God's providence. And that is the way to clearly set up heavenly vertical order. My brothers and sisters, this is very, very important. The purpose of the mother and child cooperation is to make mothers and fathers one with their children. This is important, okay? So mothers need to raise up children very, very well. And finally, all the mother's children connect to the father, because the God father position is a position of the God. And father can connect to God's providence. So Noah's all children unite with Noah's wife, and then all children connect to the Noah, and then all children of Noah and can inherit from the Noah's foundation. You look at that Noah's family, mothers and cooperation, how much important. In Abraham's family, you look at that Isaac, his relationship with his mother. You look at Jacob, his relationship with the mother. Everything, mother and son's cooperation. And then finally relate to central figure. This is a really important point. Many brothers and sisters do not know this important principle. As a mother, need to educate their children very well and then support father. This is really incredible God's providence. Okay, next.
The inseparable relationship. Why did God create the universe? Adam and God are not separate beings. Doesn't it say in the Bible in 1 Corinthians, don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? It says, don't you know that our mind and body have become God's temple? We are holy temples. What is a holy temple? It is a temple where God can dwell. It is God's home.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. The way for me to resemble the Holy God is to become a holy son and daughter by imitating God's holy 성상 and 형상. Only when I am holy can God become a holy God as well. If my heart always serves God, I become really holy. If I do not serve God, I quickly fall horizontally to my spiritual standard. Satan is very horizontal and very much adulterous. Today, let's listen to True Father's very interesting example about dual characteristics from now on. Please read.
You are God's external form, regardless of your appearance. Is Grandmother Rev.Chung here? If you go to the headquarters, there is an old lady. She is withered, and you have no idea how ugly she is. Even if she has grown old and become a grandmother, she is the ugliest woman I have ever met. By the way, ever since she first met me, she knew when and where I would appear and would come early in the morning to reserve the best seat. And when I came to that place, she would say, "Oh, you have come," and greet me before anybody else. Even so, since she is so ugly, I didn't feel so happy. She's there in the morning, she's there in the evening, and if I walk into a room, this grandmother will greet me first. I do not say this because I hate her. This grandmother was always at the front when young people were supposed to be doing this. What are you doing so early in the morning? I am supposed to be young and fresh, but you are making me look shabby. Get out of my sight once and for all. And gave her a sharp scolding. I stormed at her. Even young people make me feel bad. What is a ragged bundle like you doing here? It must have been heartbreaking for her. She was risking her life for this, but I did not acknowledge her. She must have thought, "Oh, what am I living for?" It would have caused serious consequences if I had done this to young brides, but it was okay because she was a grandmother almost reaching 70 years old. So she prayed before God, "Please take away my life." How disgusted Reverend Moon is when he sees my ugly face. "Oh God, please take me away. If not, please change his mind and make him be impressed." Laughter. She fasted and prayed while she cried and sniveled for more than 3 days. As she kept on weeping and crying, she heard an answer from God, but this answer was a masterpiece. Now, Reverend Moon is the central figure of the divine principle. Does it not mention about the dual characteristics in the divine principle? So, don't you know that men and women resemble God? This means that you are my external form, regardless of your appearance. Loud laughter. Oh, it was indeed a wise answer. God told her, "Aren't you my external form, regardless of your appearance?" Reverend Moon will never hate you because he likes everything with God's external form. From today on, you can do what you did before. Laugh. I did not see this grandmother for a few days, but when I went out one day in the morning, she was there seated with a broad grin. I yelled at her, "Hey, you old lady, old woman, what are you doing here this early in the morning?" But then she said, "Please go ahead and abuse me." Then she said, I resolved to die and pleaded to God to let me either die or live because Reverend Moon said this and that to me. But then God told me that you cannot hate me because I am God's external form, regardless of my appearance. Isn't this true? Well, this grandmother has completely got me there. Would I say this is true? or not true? Yes, I said. Oh, that is a wise answer.
So, my brothers and sisters, does not matter you are ugly or unugly. You need to know that all human beings, good or bad, value God's dual characteristics. That's why do not criticize someone. Why your face is ugly? Why your face is really not so beautiful? No need to say it like that. That is really criticizing God's creation. We need to really respect each other. Each one of the human beings resemble God's 성상, His internal nature, and also God's 형상, which is God's external form. We resemble God's dual characteristics, right? This is really incredible. I think true Father got a clear confirmation through this grandma, 정석온 grandma. God, true Father explained very clearly about this. Today's youth ministry, again, Jacob's course, spiritual victory and substantial victory seen through Jacob's course. My dear brothers and sisters, this is very, very important in our daily life. Please listen carefully. Spiritual victory and substantial victory seen through Jacob's course. Although Jacob was born as a second child, he was a filial son who served his parents well until he was 40 years old. That's why he inherited his parents' faith and also received the elder son's inheritance. It would have been good if his older brother Esau had obeyed this Jacob. But because he did not naturally submit, Jacob had to leave his hometown, although Jacob inherited everything from his parents. Since he was unable to bring his older brother to submission, he only set the spiritual foundation. Even if we go to Christian church and completely persuade people through the word, if we cannot actually connect them to our church, it is the same result of failing to set the substantial victory, even if we set the foundation for the spiritual victory. The Bible records that Jacob went to Bethel. Why did he have to leave this hometown? If Esau said, Jacob, as a younger brother, you fulfill your mission like the elder son. So heaven recognizes it, and our parents recognize it, and even giving you blessings. Who would oppose someone like that? And submitted to his younger brother, perhaps Jacob would not have had to leave his hometown. Then what would have happened if Esau had submitted to his brother? Jacob would not even have to run away from home. If that had happened, it is conceivable that Rachel would have been brought from his maternal uncle's house. It seems like the same thing happened when Isaac brought his wife. However, Jacob had only the spiritual victory and not a substantial victory. So he had to leave his hometown and go on the course of indemnity. Jesus also came to this earth and set only foundation of spiritual victory and went on the way of the cross. Jesus' faith, Jesus' commitment is absolute toward God. However, to build substantial foundation on the earth, centering on Jewish people, he could not fulfill it. That's why even though his spiritual condition, spiritual victory, even though he had the spiritual victory, there's no changeable, absolute faith, absolute obedience, absolute love toward God. However, he could not lay the substantial foundation on the earth. And all disciples betray him, run away from him. That's why Jesus, he need to go to the way of the cross. In the early day, while members received a lot of the persecution and opposition and witnessing posts, only the spiritual victory was made, and they were kicked out on the era had to go to another place. The foundation of faith is establishing the spiritual victory by offering symbolic offerings. The foundation of substance is no longer a symbol, but fighting and winning against the substantial that is in Cain's position. Even if a spiritual foundation was set through the foundation of faith, if John the Baptist did not fulfill his responsibilities, he had to start over again from the bottom. When the prepared John the Baptist and Jewish people did not accept Jesus, he had to go to the way of the cross. When prepared Christians did not accept the Father, he had to go to North Korea and start the prison course in Hungnam prison. Wow, that's why. How to establish a foundation of substance? That's the issue. Foundation of faith is it's okay, the relationship between God and me. My faith, my obedience, my love toward God is absolutely never changed. However, foundation of substance is different. Foundation of substance, you need to build up the foundation between Cain and Abel. Even though Abel do his job very, very well, however, prepared John the Baptist did not accept the Abel's fear, then need to start again, and then cannot lay the substantial foundation, which is the foundation of substance. You look at the Adam's family, Noah's family, and then, Abraham's family. Most of the central figures, they complete the foundation of faith. However, most of them could not fulfill the foundation of substance. This is the point, my brothers and sisters. Even though Abel doing his portion of responsibility very well, with unchanging faith, absolute faith. However, to build foundation of substance, you need to deal with your Cain. This is the important, If you do not have the substantial victory, then God's providence need to start again and again and again. So if we do not set the condition for 43 days for Christian pastors while carrying out ACLC activities today, we must know that it is only spiritual victory, and it is now substance. It is not okay. It is not now. It is not a substantial victory. Therefore, we must make sure that all Christian pastors set the 43-day condition. Also, make sure that all of them are registered with Chunbo 1. If we do not have the substantial victory through Christian pastors, and we must always start from the bottom again and again, and then there's a limitation all the time. My brothers and sisters, very, very important point. You just only give away the olive oil, just only the symbolic condition. There is a not substantial, blessing. Substantial blessing means what? Need to include 40-day separation and then 3-day ceremony. 43-day condition is a substantial blessing. That's why a long time ago, when Father start to giving the blessing, and then those who receive the blessing and then pass away, and then need to do Songhwa ceremony. And then what's the standard of the judge? This person need to do Songhwa ceremony or not? The first question, this blessed couple completed a 3-day condition or not? And then this couple did not fulfill 3-day condition, then they need to do funeral ceremony. However, they completed 3-day condition, then we did for them Songhwa ceremony. Because 3-day is a substantial blessing. Just only drinking holy wine, symbolic condition. That's why we are just only focused on the symbolic blessing condition to each one of the Christian ministers. Then they never become a substantial blessed couple. That's why I am telling our brothers and sisters all the time, why we need to do the condition for 43 days. 43-day condition is a substantial condition. If they do not fulfill 43-day condition, they are always guests. They do not confess Father, true parents are the Messiah and Savior, true parents all mankind. Then, when they go to spiritual world, they start to realize that the importance of the 43-day condition. Okay, first one is what? Need to give a blessing through holy wine. Secondly, without exception, all Christian ministers, even including ambassador for peace, even ethnic group, any leaders, need to fulfill 43-day condition. Then, finally, at the end, everybody need to register Chunbo 1. Then, this is the substantial victory, not spiritual victory, not symbolic victory. That's why I day and night emphasizing to our brothers and sisters in America, you need to really encourage your pastors, ACLC minister, without exception, need to go through 43-day condition. At the same time, let them register Chunbo 1. Without focusing Chunbo 1 progress, without focusing 43-day condition, I am telling you, we never increase our ACLC foundation and movement, because always limitation based on spiritual victory or symbolic victory. We need to have a substantial victory. So even though True Mother go here and there, and she restored the 7 nations, but Mother at the end say that I need to have substantial Chunilgu, substantial Chunilgu, substantial victory. That is our final goal from now on, 6 years of course. No more symbolic, no more spiritual victory. We need to have substantial victory, my brothers and sisters. Our goal is 144,000 people, which is 72,000 couples based on ACLC, the pastors, as from ethnic group, from Ambassador for Peace. We need to achieve this goal. Once we achieve 144,000 in America, according to Father's guidance, entire America will have the transformation experience. This is the substantial condition to restore nation of America. My brothers and sisters, today we learn very important thing was the spiritual victory and substantial victory seen through Jacob's corpse. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yong. If you're here, welcome, welcome. Yes, thank you for being so clear about the standard for the blessing. And I think this is something I know we've been struggling with for many years, but I know you live on that example. So thank you so much for that. And also the reminders about the real foundation of substance and how we can make sure we finish those conditions so that we can bring miracles into our lives. Okay, family, let's go into our breakouts now and share our reflections with one another, and see you back soon. breakout. To share first, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Elizabeth Henning. If you would share first your reflection this morning.
Okay, thank you so much. I was very surprised actually about this morning devotion, about Dr. Young's clear explanation about the 43 days. It's not so much that, it's something new, but it is something that is really important. And I know my husband, about 15 years ago, Reverend.Chung, had a group in Los Angeles that was working and actually fulfilled 43 days. And so, I'm just really grateful Dr. Yong explained again today how important this is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Henning. And to share next, I'd like to invite up Osmarina Rustar and Reverend Gilbert Starr.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Reverend Stevens again. I think that it is this is such an important time, and my sharing with Reverend Stevens was that throughout history there's always a victory in the foundation of faith, but foundation of substance has been the problem, because that's where we can resolve the problem of fallen nature. And the fallen nature is what has been the problem throughout history, and has been the problem in the past, and has been the problem now. Even in our movement, we have so many problems with that fallen nature, and not establishing the foundation of substance, of unity. Without unity, there is no way that we can really achieve any result. Without unity, there is no way that we can really resolve the problems. And especially with the blessing, foundation of faith is important. This 40 days, that all people have to go through as the foundation of faith, to make the foundation of substance, and uniting and receiving the blessing, and receiving really the new blood lineage through the two parents. So I think that foundation of faith is the most important thing, even within our movement, for us to gain victory. And anything that we do, that we have to make the foundation of faith and then foundation of substance. That's really important.
So yeah, I was also very inspired. Thank you so much, Marina. I was so inspired with also, I think we all resonated in this breakout, Mrs. Henning and our couple and Reverend Stevens, because I really was inspired by Dr. Yong's this content this morning. Right away, I told Asmarina, this is really the essential content of morning devotion, what he's sharing today. For some reason, this content is what we have to actually accomplish right now, today, in real time. I really believe that if our movement in America, our leadership, all the different issues, whether it be racial issues and political issues, division of right and left, all this nonsense in our country right now. I really believe if we, within the unification movement, we resolve all these issues ourselves as a movement, racial issues, political issues, if we can unite right now with True Mother, with actually one heart and one spirit, we unify our own minds and body like Father taught us throughout our lives, unify myself first, my mind and body, be united as husband and wife, and then really fulfill what Dr. Yong is asking us to do, which is to really take everybody through the original course, or the original standard of True Father, doing the 43, like Madeline Harris, our spiritual daughter, as a clergy, but not just them, all these entertainers and people of influence in this country, political leaders. If we as blessed families really, we have to have absolute faith that we can fulfill. And I feel if we truly unite and fulfill our at least 43, Mother made it easy for us. I'll stop with this. I really believe our movement and our members can fulfill, we don't have to do the 430. If we can fulfill 43, and I believe we can, by Father's original standard, and bring that kind of unity by fulfilling as Chumbo couples, I really believe that we can save America, even in a short time, within the next 3 to 7 years. So I'm very grateful to Dr. Yong that he's giving us essential teachings at this time. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I really pledge that we will fulfill our responsibility.
Wow, thank you so much, also Marina, and also the Reverend Star. Thank you very much for your sharing. Yeah, that's why. As long as we focus on just only foundation of faith, our movement never increase, never develop. That's why we really need to focus on foundation of substantial result, substantial victory. In order to bring substantial victory, the most important thing is unity. You already make the unity between Cain and Abel, already your foundation of substance. For example, in your family, as a husband and wife, you have your own faith. I believe in God. I believe in true parents as a husband, as a wife. However, there is no unity between husband and wife, even though you have your own faith. Then your couple not a rich foundation of substance, always struggling, conflict, and problem. There is no unity, no substantial unity between husband and wife. There is the level of the foundation of substance. What kind of the level my couple do we have? This is important. Unity means already you are reaching to foundation of substance between Cain and Abel, between members and leaders, between husband and wife. This is very, very important. And also the blessing also. Just only giving the holy wine to the minister, just only symbolic condition. You need to make substantial victory. And not just only 43 days. Let them really register Chunbo and then they are the same blessed couple. There is no more difference. You know, this is very, very important guidance. We can learn actually from the part 2, the principle of restoration. This is a really crucial, very important content. Thank you so much for your sharing. I just come in from the international call. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Yong and Reverend Star and Dos Marino. Yeah, I can't express enough gratitude to you, Dr. Yong. I mean, I know you stand very much on this foundation. You speak from experience. You've seen what the 43-day can do and how it can energize people and especially our own members. And so I hope that we can really just believe and move forward.
That's why I think in the beginning, all our blessed family, without exception, need to fulfill Chunbo mission. This is the condition to convince the inside world. If we do not do our own self, how can we convince the pastors? How can we convince outside the people? First of all, we need to reach this goal. We need to break through this goal no matter what. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, all right, everybody, you can bookmark this morning devotion. I think we can revisit this again. Replay value. All right, let's now go into some reminders. Number 1, invite someone, you know, especially your Trinity. I can say that my Trinity is starting to join now. And number 2 is joyfully give from your heart. The link is in the chat or online. Offer a prayer and see how God inspires you to give today. Now for our musical offering, I'm very excited to welcome up our very own Reverend Desmond Green. Let's welcome him up.
Thank you, Reverend Stevens.
You bet.
Wow.
Today, new face. Already no more beard. Wow, so handsome. Wow, great. You become Jacob.
Dr. Young, thank you very much. I've become not Abraham, but now I'm Isaac. So I'm really an offering. And I'm really inspired by the biblical passage that says, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Come before the Lord with gladness and enter his courts with singing." So this morning I want to sing one of our holy songs, which is entitled "The Spring of Life." It goes like this. We are marching to the blessed land of Canaan with delight. We are leaving all our heavy burdens here. At last we are released and free from being slaves within. We're coming to the blessed spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore. Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore. Oh, guide us with your pillars, Lord, of fire and of clouds. Oh, give us paths to follow with our lives. The moment that we cross the Jordan River is at hand. We're coming to the blessed spring of life. We are coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore.
Hey, hey, hey.
Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hearts receive with joy the manna from above. Your precious food will always be our strength. So if the future finds us lacking, we will not despair. We are coming to the blessed spring of life.
Whoa,
We
whoa.
are coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore.
Whoa, whoa.
Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore. In glory we'll be living evermore. In glory we'll be living evermore.
Thank you, Heavenly
You
Green.
are welcome.
Thank you. You show always show the green. Thank you. Green light. Thank you.
감사합니다.
Amazing. Wow, well done. Yes, thank you so much, Reverend Green. And I love how you came back with Dr. Yong's, you sang back at his, his response to you. Thank you. All right, to close us out with prayer, can I invite up Mrs. Junko Osberg?
And also, before
yes.
go prayer, I'd like to mention one thing. You know, today is the day true parents visited North Korea 30 years ago. So I think we really need to remember our true parents' effort. You know, how much they are very much seriously thinking about the reunification between North Korea and South Korea. Okay. Just now we finished the meeting with the international headquarters. How much mother really pay attention, centering on unified Korea. So really let's support our true mother, pray for true mother, you know, and then also now coming the Rally of Hope, on the 5th of December, all my brothers and sisters join together and support our true parents' providence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yong. Yeah, we look forward to any direction, how we can support North and South Korea communication. And now let's go to Mrs. Junko Osberg. Pray for us to close.
And please join me in prayer. Heavenly parents and true parents, thank you so much for Dr. Yong's guidance today. And we realize the importance of unity within the family, within the church, and then definitely within True Mother. And we want to walk with Dr. Yong side by side, and so that we can walk with the True Mother, unite in heart especially. And we love True Mother so much. She's working so hard so we can do our best, and so that we can bring a unity within Cain and Abel, and so that we can bring the results, substantial result that Dr. Yong is talking about. And so we can make True Mother, True Father, and Heavenly Parent so happy. So we're gonna do it. and we really want to do it. And so please guide us, and we can open our heart, open our mind, and so that we can resemble God, and so then people can feel you, feel your love through us. And I report this name in J. Junko Osberg, bless Central family, and Reagan Osberg, my daughter here, and amen, and Aju.
Aju, Junko-chan, thank you so much. I miss your daughter. Wow. And also, Junko, please take care of your spiritual children well. And I met them, so let them receive the blessing. Need to have the substantial victory, Junko.
Yes.
All right? Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
No more children!
God bless
Hallelujah.
you.
Thank you, Junko-san. Thank you, little Junko-san. Okay, family, thank you for joining today, making this always such a joyful experience. Please have a very blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.